how do you bounce back? Well, if you're Legacy and you've gone back-to-back 10-2 halves, confidence is going to be really high. You're going to go into this series saying, okay, Fluxo, they might be higher ranked than us, but we can certainly beat them. We're familiar with what to expect. Let's get off to a great start. Let's have 3 maps back-to-back where we put in really good performances and try and set ourselves up for Nuke.
Well, is the confidence factor of Legacy going to be the only decisive factor in this one, Dwayne? I want to give me your quick predictions in this one.
I'm going to go 2-1 to Legacy, actually.
Okay, do you know what? I'm going to make some spicy. I'm going to go 2-1 to Fluxo. Let's see how they can do here on the CT side. Pistol round going live for our second best of 3. The upper bracket final, the South American closed qualifier here for IEM Dallas. A couple of players down in at lower dark. Be watching out for some T-side presence. The Julies in for history, and Yara also in position to support, and we'll back off pretty quickly on the CT basis, expecting Legacy to make a move, and they will start to do so in the end. From range, Nyx can fight, do very good damage, but not quite get any kills out of this one. It's just Lato to 44.
The Legacy need to make sure they're not running into this B trap, because you've got 3 players on B and a spotter from short towards the mid doors for the second. It's a good trap setup if they can draw them in. A lot of damage done with that goosh down. Hardly anything that can be found. Art now needs to swing into the position just so they can maintain at least some vision towards that area.
And damage returned in kind and then some to Fluxo. Legacy moving closer to the short access. Lux flashed in, but not seen by anybody, not seeing anything. 45 seconds to the clock.
Yeah, this is all about distraction, because it seems as if it's an A fake into a mid to B split.
Yara finally found by Sadzin, picked up at the first kill, but splitting their way into that B bomb site. There's 3 defenders here of the CT forces. History can cut down Nissim and double up onto Sadzin, triple up in fact on Lato. A wonderful shooting from range there at the back lines. Lux trying to deal with the rotators of the A bomb site, but Nyx is involved with another kill against the T-side forces. Damao now 1 on 4 to try and deal with here for Legacy. Get some decent damage on history. Goosh down, but triples in for the Julie player. A wonderful defensive posted up by Fluxo.
I don't think you can criticize the T-side round too much there from Legacy, other than saying they've just run into a complete gamble stack. They've run into a trap. They did well to get that first goosh off and the kill towards CT. Just not much coming in terms of information. No jiggle out from the doors, no jiggle up from the window. They come in and then there's just a bait and switch. That's where history out from Carl, long range with the Julies, can get him with 3. And, well, maybe he's going to make a bit more of a statement. I was quite impressed by his level of performance out there in that first best of 3.
Nice nade. 4 players absolutely tanked up, and I get mowed down very quickly by the CT side. Piara, wonderful shooting with the USP. Quadra for him. Outpace even history's triple. But simple stuff again with the eco basis. Next, he invested nothing into that previous round, so here come the rifles across the entire T-side board. Galil's admittedly will be a little bit of a limitation on firepower and a lack of utility for Damao. They can face resistance. Fluxo treat this as a bonus round.
Easy stuff from Peria, and just knowing that he didn't invest into anything, just the armor and the USP, get that AWP out for history straight away and make some damage happen with it. Looking out for the mid pick, but it's an early challenge to long, and because it's only 1 CT in the process, you have to just give that space. You have to give the respect. You can't fight it for the entire control by yourself.
Still be prodding down that mid position, looking for that contact. Meanwhile, the CTs have extended out towards upper dark, and they'll realise that nobody's there on the T side for that matter. Legacy set in towards long. Piara catching quite a lot of damage there on Sadzin. May have been a dink, so that's information to go the way of the CT side. However, he can't do much on the defensive with that. Eventually gets smoked off from that short aggression. Lux also tagged low in a challenge against Piara. Damao now going to get forced away from the top end of mid. Still finds a fight to kill off 1, but he's traded to a 4v4.
The player's trying to get into position quickly. 1 incendiary for Kai. Watch out for that as it gets lobbed in towards the center of the bomb site or ramp.
Seems the smokes come down. Incendiary is thrown deep, I believe, over towards Goose is where that landed. Kai takes damage, but Arg gets the kill on Lato, one of the high HP players, and he'll continue to extend on the flank. Lux is going to go falling real quick. Nissim with a decent trade. Sadzin with a follow-up alongside Nissim's swing. History Zorb can turn it into a one-on-one, but Nissim holds his nerve and holds the line.
And we see instantly Legacy allowing themselves first gun round to make a bit of a statement. Get out there towards long, challenge for the bomb site quickly. And while Fluxo managed a 4v4, they just couldn't get the kills in quick enough. You got the time stalling. Pretty good there from Nissim towards the end. It gets expensive, and now we're seeing for Fluxo, you can get the AWP investment, but for everybody else, there are limitations. This is a tough gun round to work.
Heavy damage sustained on both sides. Lato, damage done towards him as they try and enter in towards his B bomb site and do extremely well until Sadzin took that TK. Kai can capitalize, take the advantage back, double up with a swing, look for the triple, not quite landed. But he's done his work. 3-on-2 now for Fluxo. Now Piara is leaning closer. The AK of Nissim, however, he's detected where history is and transfers back to Piara, who also pushed on past that smoke. Art's now all alone, and I believe he's also well known towards the Legacy side as well. Lux starts pushing, back will be turned. Mac 10 finds the fight from range, dink down, damage done, and now he's dead to a piece.
And very often when we talk about best of threes, Jay, we've always got players in mind that are going to catch our eye, okay? Or some star individuals that we should be looking out for. Nissim has pretty much proved in the last 2 gun rounds that we should be looking out for him. He's having multi-frag potential, and he's also closing rounds down. So for the majority of this first half, my eye is going to be on Nissim on this T side.
Earning 6 on his board, and the kill counts in the early stages of this matchup. Legacy, in part thanks to his efforts, are going to put Fluxo down to the basic pistols. Dealing out for Art only. Things look good for Legacy at this juncture to extend into the lead and take control of their map pick.
This has been back-to-back best of threes where the teams are starting to pick different maps than usual. I'm thinking about Fluxo, don't pick Nuke, they pick it against Imperial. We've now got a series here where Legacy, they pick a lot of Anubis, they pick a lot of Inferno, Mirage, and they go into Dust2. So maybe it is everyone trying to, not so much mind game, but show something different in previous tournaments like ECL, CCT, and then come in here to the Dallas qualifiers and just try and shake things up. Try and maybe just delete all of the prep and the anti-strat that you might have been ready for.
And simple enough starts here for the Legacy side. Nothing too fancy, nothing too special. Especially in that last round, Fluxo with the basic pistols only. M4s will now start coming in for them. Art can't quite afford one, or at least not without sacrificing utility, and he'll go actually pick up an AWP, I believe, dropped from a teammate. So we have that much here set and ready for the CT side. No such luxuries for the T-half. But that's okay. They have Mac 10s in play and bonus weapons in a what would be a bonus round. Enough money to buy back into the next. Look at Nissim straight up and out, beating them to the flashbang. Imperia is picked up first.
He was in an uncomfortable state. History's trying his absolute best to return it. Now Kai might start getting some pressure towards him. There's going to be an acceleration on B.
M4 behind the big box. Molotov sent deep. Great counter smoke, and Kai sees what's coming. Lato with the kill back. Nick's turned away, but still lines up a kill. Almost a double to Mal. Doubles up instead, and that wrecks Fluxo.
Okay. I'm liking the CS that I'm seeing here from Legacy. They're being very counterpoint, where you put pressure on towards long, you beat the rotations, you allow CTs to start getting out of position, and then you hit into B. Kai had the right idea. The crosshair placement looks pretty good. He wants to try and swing in and do some mass damage, and he just gets deleted. And from that point onwards, Demal just gets 2 kills, opens up the bomb site. Legacy are hitting pretty hard on this T side.
That they are. Installed initially at the start, but very good stuff from the T aggression. 4 now to their board. Fluxo still have to suffer with their money states, and remember, Legacy had weaknesses coming into this round on the weapon basis. They've, of course, built up on the bonus cash. Lots and lots of money for Legacy. Fluxo are going to take a couple of rounds to really break this down.
This lineup and core has gone through quite a few different organizations. I remember Fake Natty before Legacy, and then before that you had 00 Nation, and then even before that one you had Godsend. Taco was in-game leading back then. I know they had Cold Zero on the roster for a little bit. So we've had some experienced names, top end of the scene, and now we're starting to see more youth coming in.
To build upon all the improvements that they've made since introductions together. Sadzin tanked down early by the utility that Fluxo are dishing out, and of course a player that really outside of the core too is one of the longest standing players on this roster. And for about 8 months or so. Lux and Demal on this corner history. Looks like Piria here trying to Whole defensive line very quickly. They're going to get challenged, but the Rifles and History does extremely well to deal with them. Sadzin's now low HP. This could get very dicey, especially with the bomb being in CT vision. Oh, Legacy may have made a key mistake here.
Indeed they have. They're going to have to keep fighting, but Nissim's trying to fight against the rotators. He might have an easy kill onto Kai, but Nyx is nowhere near.
Fight kill found from Nissim. Finally, it's one back of Kai. Another rifle now to play with for Art. History inside of that smoke, trying to boost up his teammate to look over it, try and look for Lato. Does Lato know that they're here? Certainly not now. Kill gets found now to 2 players on Legacy. They continue to hold dominion over the bomb. Sadzin still low. Nissin's got to try and make a flank happen. Is he aware of the player in CT spawn? He doesn't go all the way with this. This is perfect eagle shooting. Picked up by Pyria. Nyx closes to the 5-7. And Fluxo have stolen one.
What a freebie that is. Picking up 3 AKs in an AWP. You will be so happy about that. You look at the beginning of the rounds, and yeah, you're doing some decent damage. You've put some HE placement down onto Sadzin, but it's the short commitment, isn't it? And it's when that bomb gets dropped is when things just get completely out of order. Fluxo try and stall for time. They put re-smokes down. They get a little boost up. They give themselves a break of pressure, at least for now, but they've got to prove that they can do it on a gun round. Nice
attempt from History to get in there, but Sadzin beat him to the punch. The AK of Kai has seen them come in. 2 players at least in mid, plus the man up top. The AWP in his hands. He's going to try and reposition back towards CT. Try and find a better angle at the edge of this smoke. They're seeing Molotovs and all sorts of smokes back in the way. Lux tries to find a fight, but you just can't seem to connect anything here. Exposed from CT spawn. Might come a case of whether the CTs can push forward of their own smokes back. Lux continuing with the challenge to 2 players on the B bombs. Like there's a split play coming in. Kai needs to hold a defensive alongside Nyx, who now stands alone. He's gotten Nissim, and now he's gotten Sadzin. 2v2 established. Lato's trying to recover. The mid to B player has been picked up, and Nyx continues fragging on the site itself. Triple for him. Damao suddenly walking into a crossfire. The bomb's been dropped in the open, and Pyria is going to finish the job.
And Nyx has an incredible hold on the backside because he wasn't getting any help. I think that there's been a few times where it's better if Kai just leaves the AWP and just maintains the M4 or the AK or whatever is in his hands. A whiff shot, he gets compromised, but it's Nyx to rely everything on the hold. He's the final player on B. He's the one doing the majority of the damage. And now we're tied up 4-4. Would have been intriguing casting the last game, Jay, between Legacy and Sharks, with a Nyx being on both teams. What is going on there? How are we in a position where 2 players in the same scene have the exact same name?
So I'm very, very grateful we got the other game today. And I'm hoping as well that we don't get to see...
He said it now, and then you wait till day 2 tomorrow.
Fluxo to win, Sharks to win. I mean, that would set us up pretty nicely. One of potentially 2 rematches that we could see from our opening games, of course. Bye from Legacy for now. He's going to set them on the back first, so nothing to worry about just yet. But Fluxo will have the lead here and now after round 9. Minus Damao and Lato doing something very silly. Lux has also got a Mac 10, which he's going to try and fight from range with, and the flash support from Nissim is going to assist him. Pyria caught first.
This is looking promising, because they're hearing rotations, and they're walking out B. The anchor is caught napping, and Nyx has now been dropped. Kai has to try and return, and just about survives and holds off the round.
Well, you did say you wanted to see him more on the M4. You get your wish, and Fluxo get their defense. Arch has picked up Lux as well in mid. That's the rifle that dropped, and one does get picked up by Sadzin, but he's without Kevlar. Can put the bomb down for Nissim, which is probably the best thing they can look for out of this one. Sadzin does get a lot of damage on towards Art. Can Nissim get any of these kills? Can he get any more of this damage against Art or Kai? He's forced out with a Molotov. AK involved against Kai. Finally gets that frag. Art can trade him, so it's damage done towards Fluxo and a bomb plant bonus, which honestly, for a half investment like Legacy took, is actually very, very good to remove those AK potentials. They will recover the 2 AKs and sacrifice the AWP for it. Or will they actually? History does go down to that AWP in the end, but Fluxo do get away with the lead regardless.
It's a bloody good half-fight. There really wasn't a lot of investment, and it was so winnable. Kai, the only reason that round is won is because he doesn't get traded 1-for-1. If he gets dropped outside of B, that's just it. You don't even attempt the retake, you just end up saving. Yeah, he was fundamentally outclassing the opposition on Nuke. Lot of impact from him. Sadzin gets close towards the wall bang and does bait Art at least. 'Cause 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 'Cause
And History's AWP now posted to return the favor. He's wary about the tunnels players. Just flashbangs to force him away from contact. Once you fall back entirely, the CT's having other aggressive mines. Molotovs sent by Latta in particular at the longhouse. Not going to extend towards Pyria. Neither his teammate.
History could just sit on the elbow cross. It's a nice boost up on the blue bin. Haven't seen that so far. And Demal taking all of short. So map control's decent by the T's. I think this off angle, though, could be quite difficult to deal with the late lurk out from long of Sadzin. Lato, Lux, thinking about a regroup towards short. Still plenty of time on the clock and a mid to B smoke down from Nissim.
Flash is turned up. Players running out from Demal. Kai is going to hear this. Yeah, other players coming. Just fight on Lux first, but the spraying doesn't quite line up. History's also found by Demal. Now one casualty collapses the entire A-site defensive. I don't see a retake on the table here for Fluxo, and neither do they.
Yeah, that's like putting your hands over the chalkboard, isn't it, Jay? It's just uncomfortable. It's not the one. It's a tough one because it's such a tight angle that as soon as you see a person, you're going to have to start spamming straight away. But because they're so close to you and they're sprinting, it's a little bit more difficult than it looks. And Pyria is just hoping that he doesn't get caught on timing against Nissim, so does get a kill for one. And, well, the save's all right. I mean, money's going to be decent here from Fluxo to close out the last couple of rounds of the half.
Yeah, most likely. Legacy can get to evens, the save. All right, cool for the CT forces. Can Lux get this hunting at the last second? Doesn't seem like he wants to extend all the way around the corner, so the answer to that question is no. Just those three players staying alive. A DC as well for Fluxo, so we'll get that player back in. Have you ever actually scratched your fingernails down the chalkboard, Dweg?
Oh, I can't say I have. It's not as if I think, Saturday morning, what do I want to do? Yeah, let's do that. I mean, yeah, no, I don't think so.
We, because when I was in school, we actually did have chalkboards.
Oh, yeah.
So we...
Even the sound of chalk, I still find it uncomfortable when you hear it on the board.
I don't mind chalk itself, because chalk is like rather soft, but like your fingernails are much harder than chalk. The thing is that because I was very, very young when we had like the chalkboards on in school, and one of my friends said, you know what, it's really nice when you scrape your fingers down the chalkboard. And me being the idiot that I was,
let's give that a go.
Just give it a go. And let me tell you, the sensation is a lot worse than the sound. Like it's bad.
I can't. Even thinking about it now, it's getting to me.
You have to be a special kind of person to do that to annoy someone. Like you
self-burn. How good's that? Oh man.
Oh bloody hell. 5 apiece between Fluxo and Legacy. Small tech pause to get our 5th man back in server for Fluxo. Let's take stock in the matchup so far, Dweg. I mean, look, because you said you were impressed by what Legacy were bringing to the table. Obviously, we're very familiar with how Fluxo have been doing from earlier on today. How are they matching up to their Imperial series so far?
It's been okay. I like the intrigue of running the double AWPs because we saw a little bit of it on Train. It's just... It's so expensive and it's so risky to do in CS2 with the way that the economy is. But when you've got Art as an in-game leader and a hybrid AWP, when the money's good, you might as well just bring them out. And I think Train, Dust2, Mirage, maps that can lead to it, we're starting to get a feel of the X factor and overall impact that both History and Art can bring to a side. And that's what Fluxo try and rest on as much as they can.
Oh, Sadzin's caught a straight shot down the mid doors there. Kai, head picked clean off for the first frag of Legacy. Very difficult and unlikely shot to hit, but it goes well for the Legacy side. In fact, Sadzin, a blind shot on towards History, legging him through the door. 19 points of health. This is going swimmingly right now for Legacy.
Indeed it is. And for Fluxo, it's going to be a tough recovery from this point onwards, because how do you find a returning kill? Dust2 is one of those maps where you can't make that many info plays. You sit back, you play very defensive. You can often retake space towards mid, but it's only for a jiggle, and to hold it for 5-10 seconds, you can't just hold it for the rest of the round. So History, out on B, just waits. He gets patient, and Nissim, the lurker, gives him just enough of a jiggle and enough of a strafe that that's where the 4v4 comes from.
The only player down there in the tunnels as well. And that now the AWP can turn its attention towards the mid-fights. And once again, the AWPer of the T side is watching for a short aggress, which isn't coming through either from Fluxo. History might find timing on this. Oh, it's all timing. He times it well on Lux. Advantage now for Fluxo.
Yeah, History can play passive on B now. He doesn't need to be maintaining an aggressive sightline when they've got the man up. And Legacy have hardly any util to get them in. Only flashes is going to be very tough to take this A-bomb site. You'd love a molly to force out the site player or even a smoke on the elbow.
In the drop downs, Pyria focusing on the upper players from the catwalk, gets taken down. Art's good for one frag on Lato, flashbang off. Can't readjust the vision too much. Demal returns it to a 2v2, and the bomb plant will be secured.
Demal's getting aggressive, and Sadzen's going to try and play the clock. He's repositioning that AWP to play the long game.
Nyx pressing forward, looking for contact, looking for T-side players. Takes a fight on Sadzin, does some damage. The AWP is baited to miss. Shot missed again. This time a little bit more simple. On the defuse, the tap of the bomb. The AK can take the fight though, and now Nyx is forced to fight himself. Demal's going to win it. Quadra in the round. Legacy have 6.
Demal just slows the round down enough where he's just not peeking. He's playing down from spawn, and he's letting the AWP take first contact. Even if he keeps getting baited, even if he keeps missing shots, as long as that rifler can come up on a tap or just arrive at the right timing, Fluxo's attention is going to be drawn towards that car and elbow area of the map. And Legacy should be able to go 7-5 up at the turn. I'm not really liking this buy from Fluxo because money is restricted.
All the way back to the A-bomb site. Fluxo are going to go from that initial long challenge of utility. The mask pulled in by Pyria. Art tagged low by the spray of Demal through the smoke. I don't even think he knew he was there. Now they're going to quickly make their way up to that A-bomb site. No support for Pyria at the moment. Second players are going to make their way in, but Art is also low HP. Forced out into the open is History instead. Finally, a spray from Pyria comes up good with timing and the line up there. The smoke will provide a bit of cover. The advantage sits with Fluxo again. Legacy still have the bomb on the bomb site, but not planted just yet. Lato's looking for more. He's trying to suss out where the CTs are at, but he can't quite get an angle.
And tap the bomb, try and draw the fights. Nyx gets a spam kill against Sadzin.
Orb leg shot, not landing the jump face, even tagging Lato down with a dink himself. Gets Art, turns back towards Kai. Demal gets 2 frags on a return, but finally Pyria can shut it down. A trade back to a 6-all half. It's dead set even at the turn.
Lately, I feel I can't find my feet. Pushing closer, my heart skips a beat, and now I'm falling deeper than I fly. I can't control it. Dark against the sky, it's not so black and white. It's like I told him. There's things that I can't fight. I just keep going. Just keep going. In my
About as good as you want it to be here for the upper bracket final. 6-all in the first map between Legacy and Fluxo. Fluxo tried to get the early lead. Legacy bounced back. Fluxo answered. And we stand here with no clear advantage going into the second half. Like, who have you been more impressed with so far?
I think it's been pretty even. I don't think one team's been able to outclass or over-trump the other. All it comes down to now is making sure in this specific best of three that you're winning your map picks, because the last thing you want to do is drop out of the upper bracket final into the lowers when Imperial are going to be there. That's how you got to view this entire best of three. We need to do everything to get into the grand final to not play Imperial tomorrow.
Well, if Legacy want to hold on to that Dominion, of course, it is their own map pick, and the fact that Fluxo have contested it as hotly as they have may well indicate bad signs to come, although Nissim has other signs of his own. 2 kills, a collateral headshot on Kai and Nix. Lato and Lux also close in from the back lines. The flank out from lower has wiped Fluxo out.
Oh, okay. Nissim at the back of B. It's a tough little sightline from the team perspective when you're trying to kill a player that far away when you can only see his head, but they just got deleted in uppers. Those kills came in so quickly, and then what was even faster was how fast the rotations were.
Super speedy and just as aggressive as we've seen Legacy on their T side at that. More things to fear for Fluxo. Scout their way into this next round. Hero rifle on the part of history. I saw him do well in the AWP earlier on today in our first series, but a very different weapon to handle and a very different tier CT side to deal with here. Legacy really taking the fight to Fluxo, even when they don't necessarily have to. Leaving us in this eco position where Fluxo really can't do much to resist in the second of the half. Got to get those rifles out for truth in round 15.
And it's nice to see History finally playing against some of the top, better teams maybe in his region. Looking at some of the CCTs and ECLs, and I'm thinking it's just not to that level of caliber that you've got here in the Dallas Quals. All about getting the young new blood in with the very best. And Fluxo have been able to take a lot of map control away, but they haven't got the scout in for anything. History tried to see if it can work something, and I suppose it will be past the parcel now. Keep getting the scout to work for a kill, and as soon as it drops, get it in someone else's hands.
Oh, what a shot for Pyria, and follow-up from Nix and the Glock. 3 versus 3. Suddenly, this becomes a bomb plant, at least for Fluxo. An M4 in the hands of Kai. Can Nix get to another rifle as well? Or may have to do so on Kai's death now. 3-on-2 for the Legacy side. And Nix is fighting down at long range with a Glock in hand. Lato's going to pick him up. Imperial, very good effort from the scout players in this one to get the bomb plant, at least for Fluxo. That bolsters the buy for the next round.
I did just have dazed in the back of my mind right there, but it didn't quite happen. The issue is always going to be the aim punch, isn't it? Even if you pick up the rifles, to work a 3v3 with no armor is going to be uncomfortable. I'd say for Lato, it was a good decision to just respect the move. He could have kept fighting out there from long. And instead, he's backed off from long, he's allowed the bomb plant, and then you start regrouping with the team. The last thing you want is to get egotistical in those kind of rounds. Just keep fighting, because that's when you can lose a lot. Fluxo will be very happy with the limited investment. They get a plant, they get a few kills, and they get history back on the scout to say, hey, let's just see if you can do some damage with it again.
AKs for the rest of Fluxo with the high firepower individuals. Kai, the foreman of that, but only able to do so much. A lot of damage done in return. It's actually Nix that gets involved against Lato for the opening kill of the round for Fluxo. Look at how far Lux has made his way up, though, all the way up in Suicide. He's got all the info now, with all the aggression and noise being made out there outside a longhouse. Art is going to try, Nix, is going to be watching for the backstab in from the house, and they've got the shadow advantage over Lux. This is perfect position. Headshots again, 5-on-3.
I do like the chaos that Legacy have tried to bring in this round by just fighting crazily for long. They try to HE the smoke, they try to flash. They're doing everything in their power to make Fluxo uncomfortable. It's a shame on the backstab that it's being watched, because you can feel that if that one location is being unchecked, that could be a hero play. That could be Lux coming up massive with 2, maybe even 3 kills and dropping the bomb. Instead, you now don't have much of a chance in the round. And gamble stacked towards A, bombs going into uppers, should just be an instant save here from Legacy.
Despite this not being a key pick map for the Legacy side, Fluxo have obviously done their homework. Sadzin trying to take back some control here on the B side defensive, finding Nick's low HP player part of the T side line. Not impossible they can get these trades on Kai and Art as well.
An awful smoke means that Sadzin gets on the front side and notices no more pressure towards B.
15 seconds on the clock for Fluxo to go right here. Sadzin stalls for enough time. No, History takes the pick back. Now mid to B is covered. Bomb should commit towards that B bomb site. I think it should just about reach the site in time. Nissim and Demal go back and forth for Kai. No! Oh, wait, hang on. I think I missed it. Oh my god, Fluxo. Why have we done that? Why have we done this?
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a rough one to see. Whew, that round was done. That round was completely finished. They should have just kept trading out there on B, just kept pressing the issue, and instead they cancel, and time gets them. They just do not have it.
Yeah, no, they don't. That's going to come back to be frustrating.
Well, now it might just lose the map for them. You're forced buying up against a good buy. This probably gives double digits and an 11th over to Legacy.
And Fluxo need to answer back. They need to make up for this blunder because it may be a pretty severe one.
Would have loved to attack at the end of that last round, Jay, just to mentally refresh, just to get yourself back on the page, because no one wants to be in that position. It's just a careless mistake that can happen, and they've just gone straight into the next round, no worries whatsoever. Yeah, we just carry on.
If I was the coach, I'd certainly do that. Even just thinking about how inside your own head you would be to make those last second calls. Sadzin and Lato on the A defensive here at long. Dry face from Nyx, instantly killed off by the AWP. Counter incendiary as well. Ensuring that they have to drive their way back out along house in towards mid, down a player on Fluxo.
It's just lacking in the util department. They could put a couple of smokes up, but they've got no flashes to drive this AWP off of the angle.
Sadzin, shot that. Kai next to fall. Oh, I thought he got a collateral in that next pick, but just a period to fall. Triple anyway for Sadzin thus far. May even make it a quadra. Don't know if it even matters if he does. The last man of Art moving closer to contact. Plant on the short side to get the bomb down, but the concern is the 1 versus 4. Planting for Goose instead. A retake up for Legacy, the most impossible circumstances for Art. Flashbang's already coming in. Okay, that's a lineup. Is this going to be the recovery? Is this going to be the amends made for Fluxo? Maybe it was the captain's call in that last round to fluff it for Fluxo. Hidden behind Gandalf. Waiting for Lato and trying to make the move. He gets another one that he couldn't line up the spray. So that's how we'll find the defuse, and it will be 10 for Legacy.
It's a decent effort from Art. It's frustration, though, that you have to be in a 1v4 post-plant to make a round winnable, and to be able to get into a position where you can legitimately put pressure and emphasis on stealing it away from your opposition. And money is good enough to get another buyback, and the CTs are going to be limited with that. The tactical timeout comes in, but 6-10 down. It's going to be a rough second half here from Fluxo to even keep it competitive. And I'm thinking about how Nuke went down for Fluxo in the last series. I'm thinking about the back-to-back 10-2 halves that Legacy had. I'm looking at this scoreline thinking, mate, Legacy should close with relative ease. Get confidence high and move into map number 2 with real threat and potential.
A stone's throw away. 3 rounds to go for Legacy. And take their Dust2 pick. Unorthodox is what we thought of, but still most certainly be there secured. Fluxo have taken the tack. Maybe a few rounds too late, but regardless, taking it. Cash bonus of the bomb plant is still going to assist them in the buybacks right here. Art taking an AK straight up through towards long. Not quite reaching the forward player of the CT side. Lato gets out of the way just in time. He's still continuing here, Art, and Sadzin comes in with support. Nyx can punish Demal and his aggression, so it does turn back to a 4 versus 4 with a HP advantage over the AWP. You're right about this. Yeah, Kai about to get backstabbed. He has no idea. Lux is going to wait for backup. Going to wait to see more. No, just take the kill. Now it's the mid player to go mid to B. Lato's there to cut them off. History can trade. He's low and dead to Nissim. Last man is Nyx. 1 versus 3. Clutch to hold. And it's not going to happen. Lux in support will get the final kill of the round. 11 on the board of Legacy. They're starting to run away with it now.
Very free that round. Now, while Fluxo may have been able to warrant a lot of space for free, with Art just running out long, they're up against aggressive challenges everywhere. The walk up mid, as an example, could have potentially dropped the bomb in an uncomfortable state. It didn't happen, but there's just so much activity. Lux getting into the upper tunnels, Lato looking to fight straight away down from spawn. Really proactive on their CT side. It's a good sign from Legacy.
Look out from Art. Fights on against Damao. Desperate to get these openings here for Fluxo. Trying this for a second time, and still the CT's back away. Casualty-less in this case.
Now, Art's waiting for that re-aggression. He's waiting to see if anyone's going to work around the util, give him a bit of a jiggle or even a swing. Work on the edge of the smoke for now. He's walking.
Out of the way for Lux, finds Art again, the opening casualty. Spray damage done, Lux can double up. The Galil fights back from Nyx, trying to recover the situation, trying to get Fluxo back in this game. 3-on-3. Damao is lying in wait. Molotovs are getting sent up towards the catwalk. They're unaware of the box boost. Sad's in, trying to take a fight as well towards mid. Missing his bullets. The short flank now contested. Damao still able to get a decent strike in. Pyria takes it back. Kai to smoke off the short entrance where both CTs are coming from as well.
They could get a HE to break open the smoke. Perfect timing on the flash, but the CT's blinded himself.
Known as the Galil close in the end. Fluxo will beat Legacy to the punch and force them to regress. Hold on to their weapons and keep this going for another round. And save those weapons into what would be an awkward buy outside of this. Not a lot of cash in spare for Legacy. Fluxo at least done a good job applying damage in these rounds. This could be a tipping point back in their favour. They're first of the T side in a long time coming. But there needs to be a lot more than just one.
Good work from Nyx. That round looked uncomfortable from Fluxo. They're trying to scale towards long, and it's just unsuccessful. You lose Art, you lose history, and it's down to a Galil out of all weapons to hit two pretty key openers to allow the pathway for the bomb to at least come up to the site itself. That was an individual mission, and well, without Nyx, it wouldn't have been possible. There would have been no way in. Legacy, looking at this, lightened by just a bit around it, and I'm thinking if one of these rifles strike early, this could still be on. This could be a steal round.
And Nissan will try and spot. Lean forward, great flashes in against Nissim, but it blinds the T side off all the same, so Fluxo not getting away with anything special. Nissim allowed to strike against only one though. Kai quickly trades him. Now they have full reign of middle. Not much the Lux can do about that. Mao's USP's kills come forward. Oh no! Surely not like this. And AK's been recovered! This could be an eco steal. It's Art in a 1v3, and Sadzin comes in with orb support. It's a disaster. It's a disaster for Fluxo again.
Oh, I've really seen it all in this first map of the best of three. For a moment, you start thinking that maybe Glocks and a single scout may win a round, and then that one there. The AK gets one. Aggressive in from mid, and it's the boost up in the blue bin and the double USPs that are just doing so much damage.
Oh dear, Fluxo. Rebuys in, 5 map points to make up to overtime. Wouldn't be the first time we've seen Fluxo try for OT. Although against the Imperial, they were actually ahead. Not against Legacy this time. They have to slow things down. You still got Art charging out so long, but without support this time from the Fluxo camp, who are playing a bit more defaulty here. Damao finally caught jump facing into short. History's AWP posted on the angle, and Art does get Sands and a bit of discord sowed in that A-site defense. And suddenly Fluxo can punish it in whole. 5-on-3 established. This should be the round now.
You'd expect so. You've got a long pick and a short pick, so you know that A defense is going to be fairly light. So what are Legacy doing? They realize that their economy is low themselves. Let's just completely gamble stack. We'll put triple B. If they end up going A, we save onto the weapons. If they end up coming B, then we've got a good chance of winning the round. So this is a win-win.
Got to hold on to these weapons here for Legacy. Cash is minimal on a couple of players. the preferential option, Fluxo. And they themselves also don't have any savings. At least there's a few $1,000s across the 3 players, Sadsin, Damao, and Lux.
There's definite intent to hunt down these CTs.
Nissim hears him coming. Fight from Latzo. Lines up 2. Nix can trade him, so that's 1 rifle out of 3 down. Got Pyria coming in as well from the tunnel's entrance. Nissim and Lux, all known to be close. Nix catches 1, Pyria catches the other. And that is round with Legacy, keeping no players alive.
Yeah, probably shouldn't buy now. With Nissim and Lato being as low as they are, they can maybe eco a bit, maybe hero onto 1, but shouldn't be a full investment. If they could hold on to 3 or even 2, they certainly would have.
You see downgrade weapons coming in for the 3 high rollers here. Deagle for Sadsin, 5-7 for Damao. Was thinking about and for Master there for a moment, and SMG for Lux as well, being really the best weapon in play for Legacy. Not a lot to talk about for this CT setup. Well, they stacked on long, trying to catch off some of the Fluxo offenders because they have been very heavy-handed when it comes to taking long house and extending out towards long. You can catch them very clearly off guard, but not happening here. The only other man of the CT side is Nissim's USP in mid, who's getting nothing for his trouble.
Keep an eye on the USP. We've seen what they've done previously. At least it's a stack, and even if they get 1 kill, it could upgrade to an AK, and they've got an option to keep fighting with it or just bring it into the next.
Pyria unable to get away with 2 kills in that exchange. Lux training back in the SMG. Now there's a rifle to work with the CT side, so 2 automatics.
Ooh, I reckon they'll get another one.
I think they know that Kai's there. He might have seen his shoulder peeking out. Yeah, it's on 1 trade back.
Oh,
the Deagle, the Sad's in. Oh no, okay. That's damage done with a kill found on Nix. The AK going to try and trade it right back of Art. The shots ring out. History comes up against Sadsin. Finally maintains the kill on the bomb site. The bomb now should get planted. 2v2. Damao and Lux have picked up AKs. Do they want to go for this?
I reckon they have to. Surely, armor and AKs, you've got to commit.
Lux is on half HP, but History's on 33. No kits in play, though, so if they're going to go, they're going to have to go quick. Shoulder bait's attempted. History does indeed miss a shot, but re-peek to the other side of the site. Tanks some more health, but get the kill on Damao. Lux looking to swing forward. Art's got him marked, and Legacy will fail in that regard. So, Fluxo keep this going. 12-9 now, but the guns are out in full for the CTs.
You can feel how threatening Legacy have been on Dust2, even these low investments rounds. The odd pistol, the odd SMG, it's doing so much damage, way more than it should be. And Fluxo are going to be surviving on Dust2, and they will not be taking this to OT in my mind. And Sadzin's going to get that AWP out towards short with a heavy long take from the CTs.
Tunnel's presence established. Sadsin posted up on short, looking down towards Suicide. Also watching out for those lower tunnels players, but not able to spot any of them as of yet. Backing away, probably the right thing to do at this juncture. Pyria and Kai are grouped up down at bottom of mid. Also establishing themselves towards short. Good flashbang to force Nissim off the angle. Sadsin happy to counter incendiary and just hold from passive.
Now, Sadsin knows that keeping that AWP pressure towards short is only going to help warranting an opening kill. And Fluxo are setting up nades for a B split. Mal just gets on the front side of the CT smoke. He wants to take a fight against Kai straight away.
Good kill. Follow up from History as well with the aggressive tunnels player from the B site. Now that's B completely opened up. Fluxo are going to get number 10. Legacy are already backing up into saving positions. This means that we may still have a map on our hands, as unlikely as it feels with how good Legacy have been, with how Fluxo was so slow to start in this second half. Only 2 rounds from overtime here.
Good picks. B player struggles and Damao makes an overextension and gets punished. That's Fluxo trying to go for the hunt again. They were successful last time around when they were all trying to save on B. And Pyria out in spawn. We've got a long player of Nix. And Kai's a bit further back. If they could just get 1 more, it will make a difference.
And there it is. This sim goes down. 1 challenge on the A-bomb site. Second player of Chief Sadsin might even take face with the USP of all things. Jump right into Pyria. No idea how close he really was. Now the FAMAS back out the longhouse. They're going to extend towards long in time to get him. Either way, it's the weakened of the weapons that we're saving, so it doesn't really make a huge difference to Legacy's next round bye. And certainly shouldn't be seeing anyone really buying around it. The second tactical gets called in by Legacy because they are losing their grip on this map.
I have a chat to the head coach, Chucky. I know that Lato, Damao, and him have basically been a trio for coming up to 2.5 years now. And knowing how to get under these uncomfortable positions, how that they can stay mentally focused, and what they need to achieve come the next gun round. Now, this is a bit of a throwaway, just because 2,900 loss bonus, you don't want to be investing too heavily. You don't have much backing, a single for Mars, a bit of util to be utilized there from Sadzin. And the best that you can hope for is maybe a kill or two and try and save an AK come round 24.
Well, not much behind this round, unfortunately, for Legacy. The back of their minds be thinking about how the circumstances are going to start to play against them here. Easy pickings of the rifles against the USPs. Minus something extra silly going on, which I'm not remiss to mention of Legacy's part, but not in this round doesn't seem.
Now, Fluxo want to give themselves as much of a competitive edge as possible. Now, think back to Train. We know that Fluxo had a map point in regulation, couldn't quite close out, went to OT, gave a couple of map points over to the opposition, and then in the end, that's where they took Fluxo to get the 2-0. I'm looking at this from Legacy's point of view, and I'm saying, okay, they've had a few chances to close. It's not the best of chances because of some of the ecos that have come in. But now you really need to prioritize the closure in round 24. You don't want to drag this out to OT. Otherwise, momentum just starts shifting, and perhaps Fluxo even become the favorites to take this first map of the series.
Momentum certainly is with them as of right now. And they're hunting onto these USPs. Try and take these players out to pad their own stats. Maybe take the rifle out of their hands. Not like it matters too much. I imagine the latter's going to be upgrading anyway. Doesn't quite go down, so...
Well, he can buy an AWP. I mean, that's the helping hand of holding onto the armor.
And Sadzin will just buy it on his lonesome, so Lato will get the M4 in his own hands. Legacy. One more map point remains. Fluxo will challenge them with all their might and the full extent of a T-side buy. AWP on history. Sadzin with the one on the Legacy side, of course. No saved AKs for the CTs either.
Just a note quickly, the AWP's invested into a kit rather than armor with a couple of flashes. So glass cannon for Sadzin in round 24.
Good point. Those shots on the first go. Molotov sent his way. Vision will get blocked over so slightly, but not enough to where we can't see them. Not that Fluxo are taking the peek into this position either. They're just flushing out that one angle, the forward face position. Flash from Sadzin will allow Damao and Latte potentially to peek. Damao first and foremost. Kyria is going to avoid it, but a very awkward spray comes out from him, so Damao starts the round.
Kai needs to get this trade back. He's been seen, and now the long players are starting to use the util. Sadzin's got to expect a heavy long take here.
Very high angle above the smoke. Long player starting to move. History going to start to walk forward of it. Nyx so close to contact. The shadow's been seen, and that draws the attention of the AWP into Nyx's hands. 5-on-3 now being gained. Art has been tagged so low. Fluxo have done so well to get to this point, but they may be about to lose control at the very last second. And Sadzin and Damao capitalize. Kai's got to pull off a miracle, and miracles will not happen in this one. A flawless round from Legacy to nip it in the bud. At 13-11, they have Dust2.
And they deserve it. They were easily the better team. I know they had some struggles to close out towards the end, and sometimes that can happen just when you're a map point, and it does get dragged out for a few more. But I think mistakes got to
Qualifier, for example. So in terms of this team and how they're going to work it and how they're going to apply themselves in this particular event, I mean, look, they miss out on one opportunity to make it to a big land. Right now here to make it into another, or at least to get closer to making it into another. Yeah, you'd be licking your lips at that sort of deal. So For Legacy, it's all to play for Fluxo. It's all about survival in the upper bracket and the grand... Oh, not the upper bracket final, rather. As they take it to the server. Again, it's Legacy on the CT side, start of our second map of Nuke.
A double Julie's in for both Sadzin and for Demau. You've got quite a bit of util from the T-side perspective of Fluxo. Perhaps a quick A play.
Quick in, damage done, and the Molotovs down against Demau, trying to work around towards the squeaky door angle with Nix's flashbang is wonderfully placed. Art and History going to overwhelm Legacy quick and easy. 5-on-3 established. Bomb is close towards site. Will try and get planted. Kai is going to come up good against Nissim, so the advantage continues to extend. Legacy wiped out of the server for this round. And Lux will follow suit. Lato and a 1v5.
They're just beaten by util in that round, aren't they? And the mollies go down, top half back default. Flashes are just excellent. Players are out in position. The first Julie's that's sort of in the middle of the floor, just on the outside of Tetris. But you are just going to get caught so blinded by those flashes if you're not playing anti. Fluxo made that pistol look easy.
Yeah, it did. Wonderful and easy stuff. Victory for Fluxo. Legacy will still be forcing the issue into this second round, so they want to go ahead at this early. 3 SMGs and 5-7s on 2.
Intriguing. Lobby crunch straight away.
Rifles are ready for it though. History's mowed through 2. Knicks are going to follow up as well to the players coming out of the hut. Lux has been left very lonely, very far away from all of the action. Demau managed to escape from the very leery position completely unscathed, but the 5-7 in his hand I don't think is going to do much here. Lux can't do much to support him either. Again, just holding the entrance towards the ramp room. Molly's to force them out into the open. Does see one player. Flashbang to the left. Kai does get caught. But a lot of damage done means that they can make their way into this bomb site and get this kill with particular ease. And this round should still fall the way of the Fluxo side. Just a formality for Demau to see what more damage he can do. And decent efforts there with the Galil and overthink. Giving Lux a bit of time to backstab, but only one more kill to add to the tally. The round goes the way of Fluxo regardless.
And perhaps with all of these roster changes that have been happening, with Imperial picking up Che, with Fluxo picking up History, with Lux and Nissim being new to the team, you're going to start seeing a lot of these organizations reinvent their map pools. Maybe previously they were sticking to the maps that were being played by the previous core, or just the organization itself. With training the map pool as well, maybe we start to see a little bit more of Nuke from Fluxo. Maybe we get to see a little bit more of Dust2 from Legacy, and that's something we need to keep an eye out for over the next couple of tournaments.
Certainly to weigh up how well these maps play into their respective pools. Yeah, only the 3rd time that Legacy have played it in the last few months. The 5th for the Fluxo side. There's one-sided victories in mind for their own sake. Picked into this one for a very good reason, not least of which was today's result against Imperial. Legacy. Harsh eco in this round, hoping they can catch a player off, maybe get a kill. Establish a little bit of damage against the T-side line. Nissim's ready with the HE. Kai's just been seen. Actually gets taken down by Lux here. HE sent towards History as well as he goes forward into Sadzin. Art's also finding kills alongside Pyria. Tries to catch him in the bomb blast, actually. This might still take out a player. I think they're just going to get away alive in this one. No, Nix does not escape. So actually, very successful late round hunt.
It's not bad. And they need to try and follow up in the gun round, though. Get Sadzin on that big green, get him as the heaven rotate. And it's all about trying to contain Art towards the door and some of the outside maneuvers. 3-0 is a decent beginning from Fluxo, but they know that they can keep digging here.
It's like I said at the late portion of that last map, Fluxo in terms of their eco conversions and their damage on the economy basis. If you can't convert it into the rounds, then you don't really have much worth on them at all. Legacy will understand that. They're doing good on the start up here in the rifle round. Art's been tagged up to 51. And Lux is hearing players towards the outside, but which way are they going to go? Through the smokes and into the outer yard itself, or back behind Red onto the secret creep? It's the latter of the two. And they're going to sneak right past the CT forces. Lux's push, however, might catch information. Will he see them? He will do now. Call it in. No one's seen him in return.
And notice how Nissim's instantly gone from ramp down towards the lower corridors. Now, Sadzin has been caught on that rotation out from Hell, so that's going to drive some of the distraction back towards Art now.
Trying to fight on towards the CT player who snuck right behind him. The timing couldn't be even better for Lux. Kill gets found. They check out Dark. Lux doubles up as Dix will trade back the AUG. And for Nissim transfers his spray between two players, and that wipes out the attacking onus. Kai from the back lines all come forward from ramp, get a kill. Damage on the second, kill on the third. Damao suddenly potentially might be conceding the seat. Clutch right back towards the man. And from sheer blindness, Kai down there connected the one shot he required. But Legacy will hold on to the round.
Fluxo have done excellent work to take ramp and to get bodies down towards lower. First off, it's individual X Factor that gets Legacy out of trouble there. Lux probably should only be getting one. I'm surprised that he gets two. And then Nissim, it's just a perfect timing for the lineup. Don't often see AUG usage, but when you're the ramp player and you sit at the railings, you sit at the back of Orange, you can have that long range to use the scope, and it just worked out at the bottom. The Legacy find their first. Fluxo go aggressive outside with two.
Lux straight up, hearing players coming all around him, and Art's awkward spray up top of the mini position has just been dealt with very quickly by the counter-action. Pyria can at least trade it back. Nyx and stands in, going blow for blow around the generators on the outside of Heaven. Damao, meanwhile, indoors at the inner bomb site, or the other bomb site, is going to take down that one trade. Sadsin follows up on history as well. 4-on-2. Legacy gaining full control of this one. Damao being tagged up indoors, still has presence of the T side to deal with, or Nyx runs out of ammo and is faced upon by Sadsin to drop that bomb permanently. Kai's Tech 9, a 1v4. There are several very low HP players, but he's going to win these fights instantly.
This has been an excellent gun round for Legacy. They can build off of this, keep mass players alive, pick up those T-side AKs. Kai is going to struggle to make much happen, just gets dinked instantly, and the swing comes out from back of credit. Legacy make it 2 in a row. They'll be very satisfied with that outcome, because now Fluxo are down to basically Glocks. There'll be a super light investment going into round number 6. And this is where maybe Lux's experience with going to both the Shanghai and the Copenhagen Major, been to IEM Rio, been to IEM Cologne, all with pain in the last year, is just the building blocks to try to bring Legacy into that same conversation.
Very experienced piece. They're not having the most successful runs in the world in terms of how Shanghai went down. Certainly further than the majority of teams here in the qualifier. Certainly further than what Fluxo have done previously. Then we'll go further in round number 6 because you mentioned it earlier, Dwayne, the damage on the rifles, removing money from players, only effective if you can convert upon it and reset the economy. That's exactly what Legacy have set out and achieved. Nissim now just here to try and make sure that these blocks don't get any sort of steals back. They've taken them away from Fluxo over the course of the series thus far. Doesn't simply be the case in this particular round, though. Decent efforts from Nyx and Co. And the Deagle down from Art does damage to Sadsin, but again, 4 players will maintain their lives. The 3 AKs will stay in play, most importantly. And Nissim can drop AWPs if he so desires. Not quite yet for Legacy. Meanwhile, Fluxo's buyback in a follow-up round. The damage is so storms they have to go down to a Galil and a Mac 10 still.
Yeah, an interesting detail about the veto before the map change of Vertigo and Train is that Legacy used to just ban what the oppositions were great at. Always the #1 pick or the best map in the pool, they would just ban it. But ever since Train got introduced in the pool, that stopped very quickly, and Train just became the insta-ban straight away.
Lux, Kai going back and forth already into round 7. It's a very fast execution, or at least a fast play in the default for Fluxo. Kai's dived down the vents. I don't think he was hurt. If he has, I can't really do much about it for the CTs either. There's smokes in the way, and the rotations of Nissim will already be aware of the players that made their way out from Secret. Pyria out in the open. Fight on one. Nissim can double up. Third player feeds himself up. The taps are very good, but History gets away with the kill regardless. It's a 2v3, and the damage is so staunch against Fluxo.
Oh, Nissim is just cold, mate. That is such a sick hold at the lower bomb side. There's no way History's going to make anything happen in this 1v3 now.
They'll give it a try, but unlikely as it stands. They are taking their sweet time with creeping forward, though. History has to... Oh, no, never mind. Molotov going to burn him to death. Thought for a second that maybe they might have left it a little bit too late, but not in this particular case. Advantage now truly gained by Legacy. 4 on the board. Bomb plants only going to aid Fluxo so much in this next buy up. The money is not 100% there for them. And it looks like the Knicks is going to go with a half buy, as are the rest of the T-side line.
And it's moments like that which is why I can sometimes big up Anchors. I think it's the unsung hero of a lot of teams. It's very tough when you're always working by yourself. You're always the one to just try and stall and do as much damage. But to get 2 kills and then the 3rd on a dink, that round can be praised to Nissim's efforts.
Got far more than he bargained for. Fluxo out into the bomb site. Can get away with 1 kill on Lato, but Damao holds the upper bomb site for the time being. Kai is good for that 1 trade to allow enough room for the bomb to get planted, but it's still a 2 versus 3 for Fluxo on pistols. HP advantage slightly more staunch at the very least for them. The bomb's still yet to actually go down here. The smoke's about to clear towards Mini. History gets a chance to actually take Nissim out of the equations. The 2v2 ensues. Lux has seen Kai, and Kai cannot trade. It's all history now.
Stuck in the middle of the bomb site, knows that 1 player's up at heaven, knows that 1 player's towards main. Sadzin's gonna have to bait Lux to just go for the 1-for-1.
Leaning in from heaven is Sadzin. Lux low HP. Sadzin needs to hit the pretty good shot here. Oh, History domes him. Now Lux inbound. Swing forward from History. He makes it a triple to even the board again for Fluxo. Clutch and a half for the man. Legacy, not backpicker there.
It's very clever from History of how he was repositioning himself before the bomb even went down. So he gets on top of Tetris, gets on the top of Heart, and he just wants to give himself an elevated angle. Play a bit of an off, unexpected, work on the edge of the top of the smoke too. And just perfect shot against the AWPer and then slow it down against the next rifler. And that was an all-important clutch. Otherwise, Legacy were going to start running away with the lead.
Kai's found Damao to open things up, starting to get spooled up as that star from earlier on today. Lux, he's hearing all these footsteps. He's so close to contact. Can he time this well against Nyx? Yes, he can. Peeked in when he had his head turned towards the smoke and everything, but Nyx still loses that fight. Meanwhile, Nissim is down to that B bomb site once again. The Anchor doing so well to get a kill and a half out of it. Man advantage still held up by Fluxo though, because Kai's also struck elsewhere. Sadzin's AWP can't connect the flick. Knows that the bomb's going down towards the backside. He's spotted Art though. Knows that he's there at Old Toxic. History's peak, however, could allow a kill. No, Sadzin gets the frag. Cannot dive down towards Dark. It's Lato all alone.
Now Lato rotating in from the vent, timing up against Kai is good, and he knows that History's somewhere on the floor.
HP advantage. But History's going to take the higher ground. Will Lato be ready for this? Smoke and defuse kit, but History's going to have a nice angle into where that bomb's being planted. Lato not checking the right place at the right time. It was all down to timing, and History comes out on top once again.
Back-to-back clutches from History, and maybe that's something that we need to be watching out for, is just how strong he can be in mid to late round clutches and post-plant or even retaking scenarios. And seems to be one of the strongest players from Fluxo. And Legacy and got themselves set up quite nicely in that encounter, and now you're seeing the money reset. And Fluxo, they should be targeting 70 rounds. That would be a good marker, I would say, from this point.
Well, at least get 6 here. Legacy's pistol basis is not all that strong. A couple upgrades on Damao and Lato, and Lux for that matter, but that's about it. Well, at least slow to lean in, Fluxo, giving a little bit of breathing time for Legacy. But shouldn't make much of a difference here. 8 is the target. Lux has already been tagged.
Now, Fluxo not putting bodies towards the outside because they're taking inner, which then means that heavy stack is not going to be rewarded with much. Look for a couple of exits, see if you can make the round somewhat expensive.
Oh, Lato's Deagle's found Kai.
If they get the AWP kill here...
Yep, History's going down. Surely not. Oh, Pyrrha's at least got kills on the flag. No way! No way! Not again! Not another eco steal! Straight USPs out on this one. Nissim's AWP so close towards Nyx. He's scoped in. Art, is he going to face to the left? No, he's not. The AK is going to start fighting from Sadzin whilst blinded Nissim. He's trying to find where that flanker is. Finally seen Nyx. He dives out of the way. They've called in the save from this one, Legacy. Very good efforts. Again, so close to the steal. They'll make it expensive at the very least. Nissim's actually getting challenged downstairs. He will go falling inside of the vents. Nyx also takes Sadzin out. Okay, that got hairy for a second, but it doesn't lead to a loss for Fluxo.
What is going on? This has been a mental day with how much damage Ecos have been doing. You could feel for a moment there that it starts to become winnable. Get the kill against the Orprid door, get the kill on outside. But it was just that main smoke. I think that was the biggest issue was, well, no kit, running out of time, and you're still smoked off. And Fluxo just about hold on to 6. And tactical timeout comes through from Legacy. And for their sake, getting it to a 6-6 half is going to be pivotal to at least containing yourself, holding yourself as a bit of a threat on Nuke. Because I think that Legacy have played pretty well so far. But if they go down 5-7, 4-8, it will feel underwhelming from a scoreline point of view.
Legacy still have a chance to equalise the turn. 2 rounds in this half. 2 rounds to separate the two sides. Fluxo tanked damage in that previous round, so the loss here may still cause problems into the last of the half. Legacy. One scope weapon in the AUG, not an AWP luxury that history has. Lux on the outside with his M4. Pretty much alone right here, although backups rotating out from hell. Sadzin trying to provide some support.
Yeah, Fluxo making their noise very heavy towards outside and into secret. Not a massive amount of spam damage is being done, and no one's quick to rotating down towards lower. Nissim's the only player currently that can go from ramp towards B, or it's got to be one of the door players on upper.
Very good damage being done to the Fluxo side at the moment. Lato's forced to rotate down because they've lost control and vision of that secret angle. Lato now posted at the stairs. 45 seconds for Fluxo to make the hit happen.
Yeah, if they start making some noise, that might be where he lobs the HE in. It gets so silent. Art's trying to fake that they're going outside, so potentially A split, but now you're hearing the footsteps at lower.
Lato's going to find the frag spot, that second player as well. We hear a ton more footsteps. Isolate a secondary pick against the bomb carrier. Nyx misses the AWP shot, and now he's low HP. The AUG and Nissim can chime in on Art, and the USP-HE combination from Lato will take Nyx. Kai's flank out towards ramp is completely useless now. His entire main force has crumbled, and Legacy will get the 5th that they're looking for.
It's a tiny little off angle that viewers at home might be able to use in their pugs, where a lot of the time if you're playing at the double doors, sometimes your HE are open, or you open the door and you just jump facing, aren't you? You're just spotting for info, you take contact, you block with util, or you play at the top of the stairs to take that first encounter. To actually tuck yourself, crouch behind the wall on the left-hand side is not a used position often, and the spacing, you'd have to say, was a little bit poor. Not many T-side players were in trading positions, so individual duels being granted, M4's going to start ripping.
And Fluxo indeed will have money problems going into the last round of the half. Legacy in prime position to make it another 6 apiece opening start. Kai finding Damao, however, is going to start things off on the right foot. The blind sprays of Lato will deny R and his vent dive. Nissim posted out towards the ramp room is going to be watching out the trophy entrance, where it looks like Fluxo are going to make their way in.
Yeah, all about timing, and when he can get some help. Sadzin's quite far away, so that AWP on rotation towards Hell's not going to come.
Flash sent, Nissim completely blinded by it. Is going to get run down by the Tech 9. Pyria watching, runs right into Sadzin and the AWP. Kai is backed up. Molotovs will try suppressing against the T-side line. Molotovs in particular over towards the control room entrance. Lux is standing by to receive. Smokes are in, they will just keep kept away.
The rotations are still slow from the rest. Lato's still watching top side. Sadzin's watching Hell. They're expecting a lurk. They're not expecting a full committance down towards lower.
And no one's got the bomb here on Fluxo either. It was dropped there in the vent. 40 seconds for them to work with. This does not feel like a very likely round now.
Yeah, they're just blocking for time. This is a good crossfire now.
Lux and Lato downstairs. Sadzin upstairs. Re-smoke towards Lux's position. This does isolate one. Lato going to wait. Blind spray is good. Lato lines him up, knocks him down. Kai, great as he is, can't do the clutch in this one. It is another 6-all-half as Legacy pull it back against Fluxo, but move to their T side after the break. Another dead set, even half map. Legacy were able to pull ahead of Fluxo by the end of Dust2 and able to pull ahead by starting things off with pistol conversions and rifles, but it is on their T side now. And Dweg, we've talked a lot about how Legacy have been improving their nuke. The MIBR matchup is a perfect example of that, but to look at the specifics, it was a 7-5 CT side half, only 4 rounds gained on that T side. So have they done enough to take over from Fluxo?
I think they have at the moment. I mean, you got to remember, Lost Pistol 0-3 down, get to 6-6. If they can win an opening pistol or even an opening gun round, then that can set themselves up for success.
Momentum may be the name of the game. Let's see how far they'll carry it. Pistols are set in, and Nix is going to find that opening kill. Lato, first man to fall. Advantage taken in the half already for the Fluxo side, or for the Legacy side rather. Kills being found on knives perhaps. Oh yes, Art to find Nissim all the same. 4 versus 2 established, making it 1 with history also chiming in. Cash bonuses and all sorts flying the way of the CT forces. And the pistol will look to be taken by the defensive side.
Yeah, Lux just needs to try and make it expensive towards the tail end. Now, the uncomfortable nature of that round is you've got 2 players with util, okay? So 2 people are sitting on T-roof. They're doing the skylight util. They're probably doing the top hut molly, back default molly, couple of flashes, whatever it may be. As soon as you lose the hut individual, who's there to trade? 1 indoor and 1 more lobby. Players just aren't close enough because they're setting up the util. So it was the info spot and the aggressive duel with the Julies that just sets up that round. Really good work from Nix.
Fast-paced out of the T side, charging their way into contest. Art's going to go through to history with another one. Nick, similar story. Nothing much gained out of the T side pistols. The rifles are inbound now.
And Legacy need to get a feel of how they want to play on T side. Get a bit of a vibe of the overall pacing, how they want to work outside, how they even want to work this first gun round. Having AKs across the board, but not full util sets because of, well, the lack of bomb plants in the last couple. Fluxo have a lead of 2, and you can only imagine that it's going to be pretty soon until history gets onto that big green.
For now, he's on the M4 A1S. Alongside Peria, Nix, and Kai, who just struck onto Damao, kicking things off. Fluxo coming into a world of their own right now. Advantage taken. Legacy going to try and take map control in return.
Yeah, history's in a strong position. Lux is going to have a tight pre-aim if he wants to get this kill.
Checking heaven, but not hell. Swing with a second. History gets them both. Lux with a fast trade back. Molly's sent well for Lux at the very least to try to drive players back, but ooh, just seeing that man. It's information to get gained, flashes to come out and over. Still seeing him in the rafters, knows that he's just pushed outside the position. Flash forward, kill found. He takes a lot of damage for it. Needs a secondary kill, and none's going to present on outside.
Yeah, needs the pick against Kai, and Art's just coming in on the backstab. He's just taking more space away from the T's.
There goes the kill for Kai. Pyria to deal with Lux very quickly after the fact. Fluxo in full form now, pulling ahead with the pistol and the rifle. And no more cash to sustain the buys here for Legacy. We could be looking at a 10-6 in Fluxo's favour.
Now watch out for this hero investment. You'd expect to get the AK up and maybe move it towards the outside. Damao is buying very heavy, so they're utilizing the max round loss bonus, but you have to be trying to get as much out of this as possible. You've got to try and be prioritizing not only a plant, but 2 to 3 casualties from Fluxo.
See what Lux can do. Smokes up, incendiaries from Kai. Going to try and pop open the smoke as well with a HE. Find 2 players. Lux and Lato get away with a couple of picks, but no more than that. The bomb can make his way towards that B bomb site, however, with Nissan plays more distraction on the upper site, unable to land much of anything there. Lato trying to hunt for history. Next caught turning. That was the worst timing possible. And not much you could do in that context. An extra AK to go the way of the CT hands. And Legacy will have a broken bye here.
That was well played from Lux. It was a quite creative setup towards outside. So they go with the 2 and 3 smokes when they get to back of T-Red. The pistols just try and run it down to secret. And the AK's on the other side. The AK's trying to fight against the rotators and the spam that comes in from main. And it gets incredibly close to working out for the T's favour. Fluxo feel as if they're in touching distance to closing out. Get themselves to that final map decider. Sadzin on the outside, expecting some aggression, so just pre-aiming for now.
Legacy going to turn around soon if they want to try and hold on to their chances of 2-0 in this series. Art's certainly going to start off this round with a lot of positivity to his name. A kill found on Nissim. Oh, and even doubling up to the backlines. Look at his backstab getting on top of the roof. He's hunting for another kill. He doesn't quite get it. Damao trades. Kai now backed up as Fluxo take all sorts of control. Legacy lost out big time.
Yeah, they know that Kai is in deep garage, but they don't have anything to force him in the open. It's just patience. That's what does it. And the timer alone. Sadzin pre-aiming main before that smoke goes down, just in case there was going to be a jiggle. Now, Pyria's rotated down to the lower corridors, but it gets very silent from Legacy. They've got plenty of time to start exploiting towards outside.
History almost caught on timing, but Lux is dead to rights. Advantage taken for Fluxo once again. Damao and Sadzin are grouped together, an AWP and an AK. AWP has got the right idea about the Heaven player, but just not the right timing for it. That player at Secret starts making a move. Pyria could catch Damao on timing. Both backs a turn. This could get very dicey and very quickly fall apart for Legacy. No, Damao is watching it. Right time, right place. AWP up. History has it marked regardless. Damao now making his way in, sees the head, unable to connect the man. Nyx ready for that bomb plant to get tapped. Going to creep in closer, reveal himself. Give Damao a chance to get the kill. The Glock's getting brought out here. He needs to get his pick in soon, but Nyx gets that frag just in time. Fluxo continue their undefeated run here in the CT side. Legacy look like they've run out of steam.
Damao was convinced that there was another lower player, that it was the AWPer in Heaven and that someone was going to fly up from the vents, but it was cheeky Nyx sitting on the backside that just wasn't giving any info away until it was too late. Legacy, they've had chances, but I wouldn't even say that they've been winnable chances. They've always been in man disadvantages. They've been trying to claw back some of these rounds in the second half. It's been tough going. And Fluxo have showed a tactical depth that's outclassing them right now. 11-6, could be 13-6. I'm sure all eyes and expectations now are what's Ancient going to call. Because for Legacy, I can't see them surviving for too much longer in this second half now.
Me neither. All that established confidence. The first map of the series seems to have just disappeared. That means that Fluxo should be taking us to a third pretty handily. Legacy only getting that first kill and that second. Lato and Damao trying to hold on to the trade attempted by Art and History, but Art and History get it into a 3-on-3. Legacy charging quickly down into the corridors, down from Secret. B is the target. You've only got History and his AWP over at the ramp that can potentially resist this, but he's way too late to the mark. It's going to have to be a retake from Fluxo.
And Lato's not seeing anything rotate down from Secret, so that tells you two things. They're either going to come vent or they're going to come ramp. That's the only place that they can be.
Smoke will clear and they'll see nothing at upper, so now they'll know that vent should be cleared. AWP of History watching. They're making their way in very quickly into the bomb site. Bomb has been planted for back, so double doors is not even a consideration. Here at Decon, Sad's in with a fight on the Galil. He'll win it. History moving in alongside Nyx, giving up 1v1 fights to this Rifler. History finally turns in a pick, but he looks like he's got no room to breathe. He's got no man advantage and he's got no time left. Legacy may go up with this bomb. History still hitting stellar shots, but he will not stay alive. No one will stay alive except for Legacy, feigning off the map points.
And for Fluxo, they'll be quite happy in the sense that they've got the economy edge over the opposition. I know that it's a little bit tight for Kai and Art, but everybody else, you just buy it down. You know that while they've got the round win, no one's staying alive. This is going to be a bit of a shaky buy. You've got two Galils, lack of util. And Fluxo know that this is prime reset opportunity.
Damao to watch or set in for History, missing it. Second attempt also going awry. Fluxo losing the first period. Nissim trying to charge them forward. Nyx able to catch one player off guard on that boost there, but not able to turn it into success. Now a player on the B-bomb site on defensive. UMP for Art, able to go good for one, but only for one. Now Damao there to cut the rotators of Kai and History, both on the upper bomb site. One in the squeaky, going to challenge deep, but loses life. History's AWP. No way at making this clutch happen. No way at making this retake happen realistically. He might hunt down Damao, but even that's not going to be happening here. Legacy, 2 rounds in a row. That could well break Fluxo and their situation. Certainly it's broken their economy state, because they can't buy here.
Well, good work from Nissim to get that first kill towards ramp. As soon as that kill came in, they just started accelerating, and it was a hard bait setup. You had Nyx just tucked around the corner, but he only got away with one. It was just pure pace once that first encounter comes in. Just trying to dive down to the lower bomb site. CT's trying to beat rotations is what Art was trying to do with that Legacy have given themselves a bit of a breather here. Fluxo's main objective and intentions will be that next gun round.
Yeah, like I said, this one's not going to be any sort of investment, minus the deagle from Art. Heads to pop. We've seen some silly USP eco steals, or at least steal attempts over the course of this series, but they've all come from Legacy's side. Fluxo yet to provide those shenanigans. All players of the CT forces down in lower. Legacy are leaning to upper, so this round is already over. Imagine that Fluxo might want to try charge in, do some damage, try and take some weapons out of T-side hands. But this should be number 9 for Legacy.
And perhaps this is where, at this point in the game, tactical timeouts start becoming very important for both squads. Using them at the right time, relieving some pressure. Dust2 didn't feel that close, but then you look at the scoreline and it's 13-11. And I think you can say a similar thing to Nuke, where it seemed as if Fluxo had a big lead. The rounds are coming back now. It might actually get a lot closer than what you might think.
Oh, okay, Art. Couple of rifles for them to save in for the Fluxo side, which actually gives a little bit of firepower over to the CTs. Imagine the Legacy are going to go hunting for this, but not all the way, it doesn't seem. Smoke's involved, they charge forward, they do get Art. History is able to escape, so the saved AK for the next round. Legacy still behind by 2. Can that extra weapon make a difference to Fluxo in their setup?
Hang on, Art's just bought an AWP, thrown it over, but has no armor. I think they're going to have to refund that, surely. He's got
what?
M4, no armor.
Okay. Huh. I mean... credit to the captain for sacrificing himself to set up his star guy. History is currently the top fragger in the server. Sands in AWP looks to go one better. HE's coming in against them. Kai, player towards outside. Lux leaning forward, gets the kill, and Sadzin follows up. Pyria and Kai, first 2 victims, 5 on 3. Nissim now going to creep forward, check the upper rafters. Nix might be a concern. What a swing that is. This round is falling to pieces for Fluxo.
Indeed it is, and I'm thinking from a CT point of view, you're going to want to save the weapons. But is that actually possible? You've got a minute on the clock. They now know where the AWP is. Legacy have got to be prioritizing getting that bomb down eventually, but with the expectation, we need to hunt. We need to make sure the CTs hold nothing.
Nix's shoulder just peeking out there. Lux going to get the kill. History. And the bomb is outside, but now he's going to make his way away from heaven. They're going to hear that, so they can put that bomb in safely. Nothing he can do but hold on to the gun. And I imagine that Legacy will also go hunting for him as well at some point. To take this weapon out of their hands means that Fluxo have nothing, absolutely nothing to work with in the next. And that guarantees round 24. And feel free to let me know if I'm like hallucinating or being delusional here, but it feels like to me that in spite of the lead that Fluxo have gained, Legacy have felt like the stronger side in this second half when it comes to their confidence levels. It just feels so much more coordinated than Fluxo, I feel.
Well, they've definitely won more rounds with more players alive. I think you can look at it from that statement. You've had a lot of rounds where Legacy have just worked the first pick, and then everything's crumbled from that point onward. CTs have tried to over-rotate a little bit too quickly. Perhaps they've gambled a bit too much at times. History is going to hold on to the big green, but 11-10, you start sweating it. You're not going to be able to invest for a full buy, but maybe you go in for a bit of a lobby crunch. You maybe go MP9 armor. And there's another M4 being chucked around, so decent level of investment.
And History's down to $900 here, so he'll definitely be looking at saving his weapon if things go south.
Yeah, he'll be hoping that he can hold onto that AWP and get some proper damage out of it in round 22.
Decent value weapon sets for a half buys. Max loss bonus as well for Fluxo, so kind of float should get yourselves into a buy in the next. History and Art will be trying to make a difference here. There's a steal on the table that will come at their hands or Piria's hands, catching Lux completely off guard now. Pistol player's going to try and get another rifle out of this. Okay. I think business just picked up.
Demal's not seeing anything on the outside. He's scaling, hasn't seen the main player, hasn't seen the garage player. It's a tuck setup from Fluxo. History's waiting for the cross back at T-Red. Now, they've got the bomb control for the T side, but it is uncomfortable when you start getting in these 3v5s.
History's posted outside. Going to start to extend to look further to the outer yard, but the Orpa Saladin's finally caught Art. Nothing received by him. History still watching for an outside press. And he's caught off with a missed shot. Demal, the man caught off completely off guard. Piria able to trade back a secondary kill. Needs that tertiary one. No. Lato turns on 2 in the upper bomb site. And just like that, Legacy are back in control. But for how much longer? Lato's low. Doesn't matter. Kai tried to dive in from heaven. He couldn't stabilize his shot even if he wanted to. 11 apiece. Legacy are all the way back. And Fluxo... Well, here comes their buy once again, the full investment this time.
It looked as if they got a bit agitated in that 5v3. It's a perfect start to the round from Fluxo. You've drawn them in, you've collected the fight with the 5-7, you've picked up an AK and you've made it 2. And then there's just a couple of individual duels being made. You've got a peek in from door, unnecessarily. You've then got History on the outside who's just holding the cross out from the back of T-Red. And yeah, he gets caught on a timing, but there's still movement being created. There's still searching going on rather than just trying to hold a tight crossfire. And that was Fluxo's round right there. Fantastic recovery from Legacy. Lato in particular. Not an easy one by the T side, but 11-11, Legacy will feel that they are in a driving position to win this in regulation and close this series 2-0.
And I'm glad you pointed that out because it's only reinforcing what I was saying earlier about them just feeling like a more confident side in Legacy. They are looking for a lead. Fluxo had their moments, but they've only been moments. Legacy charging out into the upper bomb site. Lux with a kill on towards Nyx. He's fully blinded. He'll spray manically, but Kai and Art are going to get those kills. This time with the trade back. Demal is ready for the Heaven drop, and he gets History for it. Looks back towards Heaven. A second player's inbound. Kai is dealt with, but Piria takes 2. Sadin on 5-7's pulled out, and Piria's caught in the jump up by a margin of 62 HP. Legacy are on map and match point.
Pure chaos. They've just tried to commit for a top site play without even a huge amount of util. Great cracking entry to start things off, and then it just starts getting out of order. CTs are trying to rotate from main. They're coming Heaven. There's just spam central absolutely everywhere. Fluxo have gone from a 6-6, 11-6, 11-12 down. Perfect opportunity with this kind of buy state. 3 M4s, 1 FAMAS, 1 MP9, no kits, lack of util. You take it now. You take the win.
So on the precipice of the end. Fluxo. Are they about to bottle it? It feels like they are within touching distance of the end of their upper bracket run. Legacy a single round to make happen. Fluxo broken by the 3 M4s on Kai, Art, and Piria are the 3 elements we need to see go ham right here. Lux finds Kai, transfers right back to Art. Demal, the only victim of that exchange. Lux might be low, but Legacy are up.
And now they just got to relax. They've got deep outside, they've got a lobby lurk, and they've got the Ort watching secret. There's plenty of time left on the clock. The CTs are going to be forced to make a mistake due to the time alone. They need an info play. They need an advantage. History's trying to scale up here at Sally. The smoke's starting to clear, and Nissim is out in the door.
$60 seconds.
They should A-split here. With Nissim's timing, they should come main and split.
The walk for... Oh, he's found the smallest pixel gap. He knows there's players back there. But how many, though? Molly's sent. They walk. They see 2. They're down. They're out. There's no coming back from this period. Legacy It was a hard-fought battle, a struggle and a half throughout this map when they were on the back foot for the majority of it. But they have done it. Fluxo to be defeated in 2 maps, no third in this exchange. The more solid squad of the T side have stepped up to the plate. Their Nuke might not necessarily be a historically fantastic map, but on this day, it is theirs to rule. 13-11s on both occasions, but a 2-0 victory for Legacy puts them in the grand finals of the South American qualifier for IEM Dallas.
And that lurk was pure quality, and the intuition and to know the gap under there at the default barrels to be able to at least